Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. There are only a few days left of Sale-A-Bration, which ends on March 31st, and that's where you earn a free item for every $50 order that you place. So, of course, now is a great time to stock up on all those items that you want to get out of the catalog because you can earn so much great product. One of them is this fabulous What I Love stamp set. So this stamp set has this gorgeous 3-step flower. There's also some leaves and twigs that go with it. Another little fabulous flower. And then it says, "Know what I love, you." And then there's also a little thank you greeting. Super fabulous. I made these 2 cards. So this is the very basic card. I used a piece of 4 1/4 by 11. And folded it in half, stamped on the bottom portion, added a little bit of Cotton Daffodil Delight ribbon, and my greeting on the top. So no real layers, no use of adhesive or anything like that, just a very simple, very cheap card that I was able to create. Then I stepped it up a little bit and I added layers and more ribbon and a little bit more technique to it. This one is, again, 4 1/4 by 11. For my card base, and that was done in Whisper White. Then I added a layer of Old Olive, which measures 4 by 5 1/4, and then the piece that I stamped on measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it gives just that little hint of a green border going around. Of course, with this one, I went ahead and just laid the rich raspberry ribbon across the top, and then I did a cute little fork bow there. So what I'm going to show you today is how I created this card, because I just love this one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This one I used Rich Raspberry and Old Olive. This one I used Calypso Coral and Old Olive. And you might be wondering, I said it was a multi-step stamping card, but I'm only using 2 ink pads, the purple and the green. Well, that's because you can actually get multiple colors from 1 ink pad. So here I have my Rich Raspberry, and I have just 2 of the images. I'm not going to actually use the 3rd image on my flower. I'm just going to go ahead and use the first 2. So I'm going to stamp up, this is the outline of the flower, and I'm going to ink it up and randomly stamp the flower all over. And I will say that there's the little arrow so that you know the arrow is pointing up like that, so that you know how to line up all of the other stamps so that your flower is perfect. I found with this one, you really don't need to line it up that well. It's going to come out perfect anyway because it's sort of an abstract flower image that it just kind of fits perfectly, and there's no real need to make sure that it's lined up just exactly. Now for the second one, I'm actually going to stamp off each time. So I just have a little piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp down onto my card. So stamp off, stamp down, and you can see there's a little bit of white spots. I almost forgot to stamp off on that one. I'm sure you guys were all yelling at me as I almost did it. And it's okay. I think it still looks great. So I'm not going to fuss over that. But if you want, just make sure that you know where that little arrow is, and you can stamp it down. So there we have all of our little flowers, and then now we're going to push aside the Rich Raspberry and bring in our little twig. So we have our little greenery, and I'm just going to kind of fill in as I see fit, to make sure that it looks nice and full. And now I have a tendency to think it needs a little bit more there, and then if it needs a little bit more there, then it needs a little bit more there, and I really need to just stop. So I probably will stop sooner, or hopefully I do, sooner than I should. Now see, I feel like it needs one there, but if I do one there, will it look too crowded? How about we do one in this little corner and fall off there? It adds just a little pop down there. So there you have that fabulous little image, all on the bottom half of the card, and the top half, or the top, I would say it's probably more like top 1/3, is open. And while I do love the thank you greeting that is in the stamp set, What I Love, I wanted something a little bit bigger, so I'm actually using the One Big Meaning stamp set, and I'm using the Thank You for Everything and More. So I'm going to ink that up in the Old Olive, and I probably should turn this around so that it's facing me and I'm not stamping upside down, and I'm going to stamp that down. Fabulous. So now for the ribbon, I'm going to show you how I did that. I just have a piece of ribbon that goes right across the card, just like that. So I'm just going to lay it across there, flip it over, and then take my snail adhesive and just add a dab on both ends and lay over my ends. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish the background there, and we'll adhere it to our old olive. And remember, there's just that little hint of a border. And the best way to figure out your borders is to kind of look on 3 sides. And once you have the 3 sides, whether it's on the side or on the top or bottom, then you know that you're going to be all good there. So then we'll bring in our card base. And I'm just going to line up the ends down there and use my bone folder for that nice strong crease. And we'll add adhesive to the back of our card. And place that down. This one seems a little bit tighter than that one does, so maybe the measurements on this one are all 1/8 of an inch down rather than a full quarter. So now I'm going to make my little fork bow. So I actually haven't cut off, the length of a card or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll cut it at the end. So with the fork bow, I'm right-handed. So I have my tail over here, and I'm going to wrap around the fork, and then I'm going to switch hands, and I guess I do need to cut this off a little sooner than I thought. So we're just going to cut it right there. And then I'm going to go down through the center tines underneath that original piece. And then I'm going to slide it down to the bottom of the fork because that's where it's the widest, and I want a nice, I know it's little, but I want the biggest little bow. Then we're going to come up between those top 2 tines, and then you can set it down, and here I'll show you what it looks like from the front, and then from the back. And now I'm just going to set it down and tie my ends into a knot, and I just did a single knot. And you're going to really want to pull tight. Pull really, really tight. And remember, with the fork bow, you're going to want to pull the tails, not the loops, whenever you're trying to pull it tight. So now I'm just going to hold my little loops with my thumb and forefinger and pull tight with my other fingers. Pull my ribbons down, trim my tails, and I will add, with a mini glue dot, I'll just place my little bow onto the mini glue dot, pull it off, and add it to the front of my card. How cute is that? Very simple, very cute, fun. You could use this for any sort of occasion. You could, of course, match the occasion to be, something, if you're doing a bridal shower or a baby shower, you could match it to the gender of the child, or match it to the wedding, or to the recipient's favorite color. Of course, I love purple. I love pink, too. I'm loving the coral because it's so bright and cheery, so it's super fabulous. I love any sort of bright color, I guess, so anything would work perfect for me. I know that. So anyway, you can always check out my blog, laurastamppad.com, so that you can see more photos of these. And again, the dimensions, I'll have those listed there too. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my videos. I post every Tuesday and Thursday. And be sure to get in on that celebration fabulousness. I'll leave links down below so you can check out all of the free items that you can get through Celebration with every $50 order. I'll see you next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.